So my mother shot me the look from across the room. And I knew right away that I'd better stop crying and get with the program because this was a happy moment, damn it. And she was about to take a picture to prove it. I think it was my fifth birthday, sixth, seventh. See, there's this running joke in my family that this drama queen cried at every single one of my birthday parties. I mean, there I am in every single picture, my face splotched with pink puddles of emotion, sobbing behind the birthday cake, tears dripping into the chocolate frosting. I mean, I honestly don't remember why I cried. Maybe my party dress was itchy. Maybe I hated my bowl cut. Maybe the cake was the wrong flavor. Maybe I could sense the tension, the sadness, the exhaustion all crammed into our family room where we had these big fat parties with a gazillion people and cranky babies and fake smiles and unrequited dreams and married people who secretly hated one another. Maybe I just needed a nap. I was a drama queen, and the name stuck to me like sap, and with it, this intrinsic belief that my feelings weren't important. So very early on, I learned to swallow my emotions, gobs of them, choking them down like cotton balls, my truth just scraping the back of my throat on its way down. And I learned to keep my feelings in check, to suppress my truth, to bite my lip. I mean, no wonder the chronic sore throats. So much swallowing and gagging and swallowing again. I mean, isn't it fascinating how young women learn to swallow and gag? What I know for sure is that for all the work I've done on myself, for all the work that we've all done on ourselves, each one of us has a chapter in our book that we don't read aloud. I mean, there's 9-year-old me in drama camp dodging my counselor who said that he needed to work alone with me backstage to get my part just right. There's 16-year-old me dumbing down my genius in school because a girl could only ever be pretty or smart, not both. There's 30-year-old me binding my breasts in a male-dominated speaker industry so that the men's club would take me seriously. I have so many stories like this, mental filing cabinets full of them, and as women, we all do. And mine actually pale in comparison to some of the ones that I've heard. So what is this day about, and why do I care so damn much? I was once told that as a woman, I carry the sadness and the longing of our ancestors in ourselves. Just hold that in your body for a moment. This actually made me think about the women who came before, who laid the path so that I could learn their stories. Like my grandmother, Connie, her picture sits on a frame of my bedside table. Now, before you cue the sentimental music, Dan, I didn't really know my grandmother. We weren't connected by sweet memories of baking cookies and cuddling with a book. No, we never had that. She lived a rough life, very far away, separated by distance, lots of regret. But still, our connection is profound, and in a weird way, it's deeper in her death than in her life. You see, she comes to visit me when I'm most afraid, not to offer advice or comfort, but to remind me of the legacy of the women who came before. She stands with me in solidarity with her mother and her mother's mother to bear witness to my life. You see, these women weren't coddlers or dreamers. They didn't have stars in their eyes like I did. They were women with limited choices. There is nothing romantic here about their stories. But their lives served a great purpose because we stand on their shoulders. And I feel palpably the energy of their unfinished business. It runs like lightning bolts up my legs, gripping my heart. 2 years ago, on this very day, in this very dress, I was seated on stage at a Q&A panel at the International Women's Summit in Phoenix, Arizona. I was invited to deliver my Too Much Woman speech among some of the giants in my industry, people I had looked up to all my life: Liz Gilbert, Glennon Doyle, Christiane Northrup, Tara Trent, Lisa Nichols. Now, delivering my speech on the stage, that was the easy part. I had done it 100 times. But there was this VIP lunch where people had paid big money to have their questions answered by these extraordinary women. And I don't know why they invited me. I was honored just to be invited to the table. What I imagined was I'd be sitting there kind of at the end, like dangling off the side of the stage, and that would have been enough. But in some weird freak turn of events, they had me sitting right in the middle of the table, of the stage, flanked by these like mountainous women. So I quickly made a game plan. I'm like, no sudden movement. I was just gonna smile pretty and try to look natural, like I fit in until it was over. So I was completely unprepared when a few minutes in, someone at the back of the room asked me a question. The whole room fell silent. It was like this was my defining moment. And I had to dig deep. And I had to yank at the roots of my unworthiness. And my grandmother came to me and I spoke from my highest self. And you know, what happened after that changed me forever, forever. Lisa Nichols pounded on the table. She's like, yes, yes. She grabbed my hand and she whispered in my ear. She said, you're a genius. I hope you know that. And someone in the panel on my right said, I think Gina should answer the rest of the questions. And in that pivotal moment, my cellular structure changed. And I want you to hear this, because I was clear in that moment that the question is no longer, am I worthy? Are you worthy of sitting at the table? I mean, that is so 2020. Of course we're worthy. The question is, will you no longer gag and swallow? The question is, will you answer the call? International Women's Day is a call to arms. It's a battle cry born from the shredded lungs of any woman who has ever been muted, every witch that's ever been burned. To our muzzled ancestors of yesterday, our muted sisters who are alive today, our daughters of tomorrow, let's make a deal right here and right now, not to dilute our potion, not to shrink in the shadows. Let's not agree to be sipped delicately from a glass when you and I are meant to be chugged from the bottle. Let's make a deal. No more swallowing, no more gagging. Because sisters, it's our freaking party and we're gonna cry if we want to.